What's up? Yeah, man. Appreciate you having me. My name is Mr. Locario. They call me the bad boy of the dating game. You feel what I'm saying? So, yeah, I just help people with dating advice, relationship advice, just letting people understand the game, life advice, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, how can somebody become a dating coach?
Well, the thing is this, if you want to become, well, this is the thing. If you want to become a good dating coach, I should say, you have to know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? So you have to be able to have a very good awareness of people, yourself, how people interact in relationships. And you have to also understand your audience and what you're trying to get across and understand the type of, clients that you're trying to get, because you might have, for example, some people might coach people in the sense of strictly trying to get married or strictly trying to get a monogamous relationship and stuff like that. And you might coach them in a different way versus somebody coaching someone just to date around, hook up, and all this other stuff. Or you could have a wide range of things, which is what I do, is that I do both. You understand? It could be for just hooking up, or it could be for finding a long-term situation. But you definitely have to know what you're talking about so that you can help the people that you're coaching. Because if you don't know what you're talking about, then a lot of times you can do more damage than good when you're giving out the advice. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So you made a movie called The King Game Kings.
Right.
Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so Game Kings basically is a movie with myself, my business partner Miles Cunningham, Rosebud, Bitter Dose, Ron Wills, Eddie Fuse, and Steve Dean, and another dude named Boss Mac Topsoil. So these are all guys in the game who understand women, who understand how to navigate through dealing with different women and just the game of life. You know what I'm saying? So I got all those guys together, put them in one documentary so that we can talk about the game. So we talk about women, we talk about manhood, we talk about confidence, we talk about just living life and being the best you can be. So that's basically what it is. It's a very very in your face documentary about games, so that people who don't understand the game or don't know the game can learn what this is about. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of misconceptions about game. So a lot of people think learning game or what game is just about, like, they think it's about manipulation, they think it's about lying, they think it's about being sneaky. But all game is really is a strategy to get what you want in your life, and then just figuring out what strategy works best for you. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so I have a fast question for you. So, in your opinion, can an average man get a high value woman?
What do you mean by high value woman?
So it's just a question some of my viewers just sent me. Mm-hmm. I'm guessing how a high value woman is somebody that makes six figures and has like a college degree,
right.
And a lot of men want that woman.
Right. Well, the thing is this, you can get any type of woman, whether you consider her high value or not, based off of you being the most attractive guy that you can be. So this is what guys got to understand. It don't matter if a woman's making six figures or no figures. All women are attracted to men who are masculine and men who are confident. So if you're a masculine, confident guy, right, and you go after what you want, there's a lot of women who are going to be attracted to you no matter what they do. So a lot of guys think what a woman does creates a situation where it's difficult for her it's difficult for you to get her, or it's going to be different for you to get her. So meaning I can get a woman who works at McDonald's the same way I could get a woman who works at Google, or I can get a woman who has no job the same way I could get a woman who is a vice president of a Fortune 500 company. It doesn't matter. They're all women at the end of the day. So this is what guys have to understand, is that once you start thinking like I have to do something different for a woman who is making six figures or is high value, that's the thing that's going to make it to where you're not going to get her, because you're putting her on a pedestal already. And putting a woman on a pedestal is the thing that's going to make you less attractive. So women only want to deal with men who they feel are equal or better than them. So if you think of a woman as this, prize, or like she's this like all the way up here and I have to attain to get her, you're automatically putting yourself below her. So therefore, automatically, she's not going to want you. So you have to come with the mindset of, regardless of her position, I'm still a man, period. So therefore, it doesn't matter what she's doing. I'm still approaching and interacting with her with the knowledge that I'm bringing some sort of value to her, just being a man that I am. You understand? Being the man that I am. So it's a mindset shift. So the way to get that type of woman, you have to shift your mindset. You have to look at it as that she's not special just because she makes this amount of money or that amount of money. You see what I'm saying?
Okay. So you made a good book that I want to actually talk about. It's called How to Get Him to Give You Gifts, Money, and Attention.
Right.
Can you actually go into that?
Right. So that's actually an audio program for women. And that's teaching women basically how to be gold diggers if they want to be gold diggers. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of them things where it teaches women, if you're looking for a man who's going to spoil you and who's going to buy you stuff, who's going to do that type of thing, this is how you do it. You know what I'm saying? And these are the type of guys you find, and these are the type of things that you do. So what I did in that program is I actually interviewed a woman who's basically done that for years, and she gives all of her like tips on how to do that and how to attract guys who are going to give you those things. You see what I'm saying? Because you have different types of guys out there. You got guys who, are players. You have guys who are just the average guy trying to look for a girlfriend or a wife that's, that they want to marry or whatever. You have guys out there who are just want to hook up and have fun. And you have guys out there who want to trick, you understand me? And they want to spend a lot of money on a woman. They want to wine and dine her. They want to do a lot of things that include, monetary situations, right? So if a woman's trying to find that, she got to find the guy who is really about that, because that's the easiest way for her to get that type of lifestyle if she wants that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so in your opinion, why do women hate average guys? Do you think women actually hate average guys?
Right. I wouldn't say hate. It's more so like, what it is that women get tired of average guys because this is most of what they encounter. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, and so what happens is most guys seem like the same to most women. So for example, if I invited you to my house for dinner every day, for like 3 months, and every day I cook the same food, you'd be like, man, I'm getting tired of this same stuff every day. You know what I'm saying? Because I need something different. I needed something that's going to excite me, whatever. Same thing for women. Most of the guys, like 80 to 90% of the guys that women talk to or try to hit them up in a DM, try to holler at them in the street, they're all the guys sound almost the same. And what it is that most guys don't bring out any type of excitement for a woman. Most guys don't do anything or say anything that makes a woman see them as, a really attractive guy. You understand? And so what happens is that when you're the average dude, you blend in. And when you blend in, it's almost like you sometimes become invisible, meaning that she doesn't necessarily pay attention to you because you're just like everybody else. So it's like, if you're just like everybody else, why do I need to pay any type of attention to you? Because I can get another one of you in 2 seconds. But now if you're a guy who's above average, she's going to take notice and she's going to be like, man, there's something different about him. I want to keep seeing him. I want to call him. I'm thinking about him. That's what differentiates you from the average dude. But what differentiates the guy who's on point and the guy who's above average from the average is the guy who's above average and the guy who's on point has game. And what that means is that he's confident. He knows how to dress. He knows how to talk to a woman. You understand? He has some charisma. You know what I mean? It's like all these things. That's a combination that's part of his characteristics is what makes him stick out and stand out from other men. So a lot of times guys think it's just like, oh, well, you got to be the best looking guy. If you look good, that can help you in certain situations. But guess what? Even if you're a good looking dude, there's a lot of other guys who are also good looking. So therefore, you still don't stand out just because you're good looking. She might think you're cute or whatever, and that's cool. But there's 10 other guys just as cute as you in her DM. You see what I'm saying? So what's going to separate you from the other cute guys? You see what I mean? So it's always a thing where if you're being the best you can be all around, that's the thing that's going to separate you from most other men. And that's going to make it easier actually for you to get girls. The more average you are, the harder it's going to be for you to get girls. The more above average you are, the easier it's going to be for you to get girls. It's really that simple.
So, all right, to piggyback off game, you made a book called How to Have Sex with Two Women a Day. Can you actually go into that book and what's that book is about?
Right. So basically that book, How to Have Sex with Two Women a Day, is really about teaching guys how to have options. That's the main point of the book. It's like teaching you how to date a number of different women, have options, have a lot of women that you can deal with so that you don't really have a scarcity when it comes to you dealing with women. So it's not a thing where I'm teaching guys like they should be necessarily having sex with two women a day every day of the week. Like, I'm not saying that, but you have the option to because you're going to have a lot of women that you're dealing with. The funny part about that book is a very beginner type of book. I made that book at this point, it's been like 10 years. So it's been like 10 years since this book been out. And it's really a book for guys who are basically at any level of the game, but it's mainly for beginners just to get guys feet wet in the game. So it teaches guys how to have a certain mindset, to be confident, to see yourself as the guy who women want, teaches you certain ways that you can dress your appearance that's going to help you become more attractive to women, teaches you different ways to approach women that's a little bit easier so that you can, because a lot of times what happens is guys are scared of rejection. So I show ways in that book to approach a woman where it's in a way where the rejection won't be as harsh, and in a way where you can see if a chick is even feeling you to the point where you even want to continue the conversation. So I talk about ways to have conversations like that. I also threw in the right way to talk to women if you want to talk to women at your job. See, I always tell guys you shouldn't talk to women at your job, but they don't listen. They still try to do it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, if guys are still going to do this, then I'm just going to tell them a way they can do it that's better suited for them, that'll most likely make it to where they're not going to lose their job. You know what I mean? So I added a lot of different things in there just to get guys to get their feet wet in the game to where they can have multiple women, because it's really not that hard to get multiple women, to have sex, to hook up. It's not really hard. A lot of guys, what happens is that when they start taking the game seriously and then they actually put it into practice and they put in that work, they'll start to see that it's really not hard to get women to want to be with you, to want to hook up with you and all this other stuff. It's only hard for most guys because most guys aren't willing to put in the work to get to the point where it's not that hard. You understand? So it's like, I'll give you an example. If you're building a business, it's going to be hard at first because you got to take a few years in order to get to a space where you build a business to where it's sustainable. Once it's sustainable, right, there's still things you have to do to sustain it, but it's not as hard because you've already got the structure built. So before, when you were first starting a business, you might work like 15, 18 hours a day. Then let's say you have a business where you're making thousands of dollars a month and you might only literally have to work probably like 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day on your business because it's already in a sort of like cycle where it's working upon itself. It's the same thing with game. If you're the type of guy who has trouble getting girls because you're scared of rejection, you're scared to approach, you're scared to do all this other stuff, it's going to be extremely hard for you until you push yourself to go approach the girl, interact with these girls, get over that fear. And then once you start doing that, you still have to put in the work to interact with them, but it gets easier because you become more attractive and more women are starting to respond to you easily because you put in that work from beforehand. You see what I'm saying? So that's where that goes. You know?
All right. So, in your opinion, can broke men get love from not how value women, but can a broke guy get women and like bad women?
Bro, listen, see, this is what guys don't understand. See, I think what happens is a lot of dudes think that in order for them to get hot women, that they need money, which is false. Because there's different types of attraction. Now, I always try to tell guys this. I talk about this I'm making this new book that I got coming out soon, but I don't want to say the name of it because I want people stealing the name, whatever. But in my new book, I have a chapter where I talk about 5 types of attraction women have for men. It falls under these 5. It's physical, sexual, behavioral, resource attraction, and friendship attraction. So those are the 5 types of attraction. Now, what's going to happen is this. A woman will be attracted to a guy because he has resources, but that doesn't necessarily mean she's sexually attracted to him. So you can get a woman by having money. So she'll see you. She'll be like, man, that guy got a lot of money. So I'm a rock with him so I can, come up and utilize him for the resource. Right. But that doesn't necessarily mean she's sexually attracted to him. So this is why you ever hear when a woman and a man are married and the guy's complaining like, man, I haven't had sex in like a whole month with my wife. The reason why is because she's not attracted to him sexually. She was just attracted to him because he had resources. You see what I'm saying? So now you have a guy who is sexually attractive to a woman, but he's broke. But what happens is because she's so sexually attracted to him, what she's going to do, she's going to have sex with him. Mm-hmm. And so what happens is sexual attraction is the strongest form of attraction because that's naturally why we're here, is to procreate. So what's going to happen is that guy who she's sexually attracted to, she's going to have sex with him. So that means that broke guy who's sexy can still get a hot girl because that hot girl still wants to have sex with that guy because that guy's sexy. You see what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter how much money he got. Matter of fact, she's so sexually attracted to him that she starts to fall for him and probably gives him money, probably lets him drive the car. This is why you hear a bunch of guys who are bums and guys you would consider losers out here getting a bunch of girls pregnant and doing all this other stuff, is because they have the women are sexually attracted to them. So this is why a guy who's broke can still get girls and still get a lot of girls and even get hot girls because he's sexually attractive to, those women. That's really what it boils down to. You see what I'm saying?
So, one of my women viewers asks, how can black women get high value men?
Well, first you have to, this is what I would say. I say first they have to define what high value is to them. Because I know, like, shout out to Kevin Samuels. I know Kevin Samuels been doing the rounds talking about what a high value man is. But truthfully, what happens is that what a high value man is, or high value person, for whatever that, for whatever way you want to look at it, high value only means what it's going to mean to the person. So what I mean is it's subjective. So the woman has to say to herself, what makes a guy high value? Now let's talk about what the stuff Kevin Samuels talking about. He would say, for example, he's talking about making 6 figures and all that other stuff, right? Now, if a woman wants to get that high value guy who's, the high value guy making 6 figures, she has to figure out what that specific high value guy wants, and in general, what guys like him want. So let's say you have a guy who's making 6 figures, he's making a lot of money, and you notice that most of those type of guys want women who are physically fit and very attractive, right? Then she has to say, okay, well, if I'm overweight, I got to get in the gym, hit the gym, get fit, and become one of those type of women that type of guy is attracted to. You see what I'm saying? If she wants that type of guy. Now, if high value means something else, high value could mean your character. Certain type of moral character that you like in a man. So let's say for that woman, she says, well, a high value guy to me is a guy that goes to church and praises God and all that other stuff. So if she wants to get that type of guy, she has to figure out what do those type of guys, or what does that specific guy want in a woman, figure that out and become. And when I say become, I mean, it's not necessarily where she has to change herself necessarily, but what it is that she has to find something in herself that makes her compatible to that. You understand? Because it shouldn't be a thing where you're changing yourself, because you should still be yourself. But what it is that to attract that, you have to find something within you that correlates to what that man wants and needs. That's the only way. That's how attraction works. Attraction works when you and that person are in sync, and y'all both have qualities that y'all are both interested in each other. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is that what most women make the mistake of thinking is that they think, well, I can just, show up and that's it. No, you have to understand what that specific guy is interested in and needs and wants. And then if you can align with that, then he'll want to deal with you. If not, it's not going to happen. So it's a lot of work that women have to do on their part in order to be able to get to that level, in order to attract those type of men. But it takes work. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, so in your opinion, do you think actually why women hate average men?
You're saying that why do they hate average men?
Yeah.
No, I was saying earlier. I was saying they don't hate them. They just don't. They're annoyed by them. You know what I'm saying? Because it's too many of them. Meaning that like it's too many dudes who just like, okay, think about this. Imagine for a second you're a woman and you're walking down the street or you're checking your Instagram or whatever, and you check your Instagram or even your dating profile, and every guy just says, hey, hi, hey, sexy, how you doing? Hi, what's up? Just back to back to back. And you're like, God damn, all these people saying the same stuff. You understand? And so therefore, nobody stands out. There's nothing engaging in the situation. So there's nothing that draws her in. You understand? Because women can't get with everybody. They're trying to choose the best out of the situation. So if a guy's average, that already means he's not the best. That already means that she's just going to bypass the guy and just, ignore him. You see what I'm saying? So that's what it is.
So what is your opinion on the Bill Gates, with his other woman he cheated on his wife, I guess, with another woman.
Right. Well, see, that's the thing. A lot of times what happens is that when you're in monogamous relationships, right? Especially for that long, they've been together, him and his wife been together for like damn 20 some years. There's going to be times where you're going to want something else. You're going to want some other sexual gratification or sexual situation, or even in sometimes it don't even necessarily have to be sexual. It could just be you want to engage and interact with different situations. You understand? So that's not surprising that happened, but it makes sense that happened because in most relationships that are monogamous, that's usually what will happen because it's natural for us to be able to want to interact with different people. You understand? And so a lot of times what happens is in monogamous relationships, people, they're making a choice and a decision to only stay with this person and the other person is staying with them. But it's hard because naturally you're going to want to interact with other people. See, us being monogamous and faithful is a social construct within itself anyway. It's not naturally how we are. So we've created a rule that is unnatural. So of course, this is why you have so much cheating. You see, like cheating wouldn't be a big deal, right? Or I should say this, cheating wouldn't be a thing really if it was natural for you just to be monogamous, because you just be monogamous, you never cheat. But the fact is that the fact that we even have to try not to cheat is showing that in our nature is telling us that we want to go around and spread around and do what we do. But whenever you're fighting nature, that's when you're going to suffer anyway. This is why a lot of people are in their relationships suffering and, unhappy and all this other stuff because they're not being honest with themselves. You see what I'm saying? And so that's what happens is that you get a lot of cheating, a lot of all this other crazy stuff. And unless people were, if people were honest from the forefront and been like, hey, look, I love you, but I also love me. So since I love me, these are the things I want to do. And we got to figure out ways that we both can do the things we want to do and still respect each other and respect our individuality, even though we're together. You see what I'm saying?
All right. Talking about relationships, why men are actually feel like they have to lie to women in relationships?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. The reason why they feel they have to lie again is because they don't feel like, I was saying earlier about people don't respect the people's individuality, but they feel they need to lie because they think them being honest or who they really are isn't going to be accepted. That's the reason why people lie, is we think who we are is not going to be accepted. We think we can't be loved or can't be appreciated for who we are, so we have to lie. And it's an insecurity thing. So a lot of times guys will lie because they think who they are isn't enough to attract a woman. Because if who they were was enough to attract a woman, then they wouldn't need to lie. They would just be like, yo, this is me. What's good? Let's make it happen. And then it would happen. But because they're not confident in who they are, they have to pretend there's someone else. Just like when people are on Tinder or these dating sites, they catfish. They put up pictures that aren't them or pictures that how they looked before, but that's not really who they are now. That's not really the representation of who they are, because they are thinking the representation who they really are isn't good enough for anyone to want to be with them. So lies are deeply rooted in the insecurity and that feeling of not being good enough. You see what I'm saying? When you understand your value and see you are good enough, then you wouldn't need to lie. There would be no need for the lies to happen. You see what I'm saying?